Dear ladies and gentlemen, esteemed colleagues, as chairman of the board of ÖFSE, it is my special privilege to welcome you at the public opening of the ÖFSE 50th anniversary conference. With particular pleasure, I welcome Ambassador Peter Launsky-Tiefenthal, Director General for Development Cooperation at the Austrian Ministry of Europe, Integration and International Affairs. Dr. Alice Irwin, representing the Austrian Development Cooperation. Notwithstanding the fact that at this very moment, the attention of the Austrian general public is focused on the upcoming national elections, this Sunday, the topic of this conference could not be more timely. The challenge of delivering on sustainable development, that is a mode of production and consumption that leads to a high level of well-being for people all over the planet, while respecting ever more strained ecological boundaries, is more urgent than ever. It will for sure determine the life prospects of our children and grandchildren. However, as this challenge is situated in an international environment that is subject to rapid change, with a clear potential for rising levels of conflict, new forms of international cooperation are urgently needed. Also at the national level, new forms of cooperation between state, civil society, the private sector and academia have to be established. Against this background, traditional development cooperation will need to change as well. So a continued effort and focus on fighting hunger and poverty will be necessary. The central agenda of the UN agenda, central objective of the UN agenda for sustainable development is to achieve a social ecological transformation of our economies and lifestyles, both at the national and at the global level. This calls for a fundamental rethinking of the aims, the instruments and methods of development cooperation. Tonight's discussions and tomorrow's conference will try to make a modest contribution to this necessary debate. Tackling the challenges of the future can, however, not be done in an institutional vacuum, but needs both competence and experience. 50 years of work on issues of development policy and development cooperation does provide ÖFSE with a rich historical experience as well as institutional capacities upon which to build up on in the future. Starting off from the merging of two small libraries for development studies into a public foundation in the year 1967, ÖFSE has steadily expanded its activities and been eager to improve both the scope and the quality of its services to government institutions, civil society, and the interested public at large. The fundamental commitment to operate a non-partisan and independent information, documentation, and research center at the service of Austrian society has been maintained over the decades and has determined the peculiar and unique nature of ÖFSE. However, to persevere such an undertaking for such a long time would not have been possible without two key factors, namely sustained public and private financial support, as well as the loyalty and commitment of many people which have worked in the organization. Let me therefore take this opportunity and express our gratitude to our principal funders. Firstly, the Austrian Development Cooperation, which is represented tonight by Dr. Alice Irwin, and secondly, DKA, the Development Cooperation Agency of Katholische Jungschar, the Catholic Children's Movement of Austria. So the long-standing support of these two organizations, through this support, ÖFSE has been able to fulfill its mandate and steadily improve upon its activities. Secondly, effective work needs the fruitful collaboration with other organizations which complement one's own capacities and competences. ÖFSE has had the privilege to cooperate with many organizations over the years in academia and civil society, both in Austria and at the international level. It is not possible to name all of them on this occasion, but let me take the opportunity and express our appreciation for the constructive cooperation that ÖFSE has had with the other C3 partners over the last 8 years, that is Frauensolidarität, Baobab, the Mattersburger Kreis and the Paulo Freire Center, as well as COO, the Office of the Austrian Catholic Bishops' Conference, responsible for coordinating development work, and finally Globale Verantwortung, the Austrian Platform for Development and Humanitarian Aid Organizations. Finally, let me also pay tribute to the many distinguished colleagues from academia and civil society who have served as members of the board, often for many years and with great commitment and loyalty. Especially leadership of my predecessors as chairman of the board, Professor Klaus Zapotocki, who is here as well. Bishop Alois Wagner, they should be recalled in this respect, as well as Gerhard Bittner, long-standing director until 2010 and key proponent of C3. Last but not least, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to ÖFSE staff, both former and current employees, many of which are assembled here in this room. Without the continued dedication to our work and the solidarity of all you during these periods of joy, of crisis, an organization such as ÖFSE would not be possible. My heartfelt thanks to all of you, especially over there.